It was 3 a.m. when Marcus's world shattered into a million pieces. The foreclosure notice, the business bankruptcy papers, the custody hearing documents, all arriving in the same week. He sat on his living room floor, surrounded by the wreckage of what used to be his life, and whispered 5 words that would change everything. God, I can't do this anymore. But what happened next? Nobody saw coming, not even Marcus himself. This is a story about the moment when holding on becomes more painful than letting go, and what waits for us on the other side of surrender. Before I continue, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, drop a nice comment, and share it with one person. God bless you. Let's continue. 6 months earlier, Marcus had it all figured out. The thriving construction company he'd built from nothing. A marriage everyone envied. 2 kids who looked up to him like he was Superman. The kind of success that made his father finally proud. From the outside, his life looked like the American dream in full color. But here's what nobody tells you about being the man. It's exhausting. Marcus was the provider, the problem solver, the one who carried everything on his shoulders. He prided himself on never breaking down, not in front of his wife, not in front of his crew, and definitely not in front of God. Sure, he prayed before meals, quick prayers, Sunday morning prayers, but he never truly surrendered control because Marcus believed in a simple formula. Work hard enough, be strong enough, and you can handle anything life throws at you. The first crack appeared on a Monday. His biggest client, the one funding 3 major projects, filed for bankruptcy. It's not personal, the lawyer said, just business. 37 employees depending on him, contracts he couldn't fulfill, loans he couldn't repay. Marcus stood on that construction site looking at half-finished buildings and felt his chest tighten. It's fine, he told himself. I'll figure it out. He worked 18-hour days that week, called in every favor, pitched every bank. Marcus was in control, or so he thought. But here's what happens when we build our identity on being the strong one, the provider, the one who never needs help. The foundation is already cracked before we notice.
3 weeks later, his wife said she couldn't do this anymore. You're never here, she said, and when you are, you're somewhere else. The kids don't even know you anymore. Marcus felt his world tilting. This wasn't part of the plan. This wasn't something he could fix with harder work. He tried to explain about the stress, the pressure, the weight he was carrying for the family. But she wasn't asking for explanations. She was asking for a divorce. Then the bank called. Foreclosure proceedings. The house, the symbol of everything he'd built, was gone. Marcus looked at his company's bankruptcy filing, looked at his wife's attorney's number, looked at his kids' confused faces, and something inside him finally broke. Not his spirit, his grip. That night, Marcus found himself sitting in his truck in an empty parking lot, unable to go home to an empty house, his chest heaving. His carefully constructed empire was ruins. Every backup plan had failed, every solution exhausted, and for the first time since he was a boy, Marcus had absolutely no idea what to do next. I can't fix this, he whispered. I can't provide. I can't be strong anymore. And in that moment of complete helplessness, something shifted, not in his circumstances, in his heart. He stopped trying to strategize his way out, stopped mentally calculating his next moves, and he prayed a prayer he'd never prayed before. God, I surrender, all of it. I don't know what to do. I can't carry this anymore. It's yours. No promising to work harder, no bargaining for one more chance. Just surrender. Nothing changed immediately. The foreclosure didn't reverse. His wife didn't call. The business didn't resurrect itself. But something was different. Marcus felt lighter, like he'd been bench pressing the weight of the world for years and finally set the bar down. The next morning, he didn't wake up strategizing. He woke up in peace, a strange, unfamiliar peace that made no logical sense. Because here's the mystery of surrender. It's not about God fixing everything the way we want. It's about God carrying what we cannot. And when we stop trying to be our own savior, we finally meet the real one. When our hands stop gripping, they're finally open to receive what he's been trying to give us all along. The miracle started small. An old employee he'd had to lay off showed up at his door. You gave me a chance when nobody else would. Here's what I can spare. It wasn't much, but it was everything. His pastor texted, been praying for you. Let's grab coffee. Not to lecture, just to listen. Anonymous gift cards started appearing. Gas money, grocery store cards, just enough. Marcus started noticing what he'd been too busy performing to see, God's hand in the details, not fixing everything instantly, but walking with him through every dark valley. He started each morning the same way now. God, this day is yours. My kids are yours. My future is yours. I trust you. And slowly his clenched jaw relaxed. 3 months later, Marcus got a job offer, not building empires, building cabinets, custom woodwork. The craft he'd loved before success made him forget why he started. Simpler work, honest work, better alignment with who he was becoming, not who he'd been trying to prove he was. His relationship with his kids transformed. Without the company rescue and the image to maintain, he was actually there, fully there. Saturday morning pancakes, bedtime stories, soccer games where he wasn't checking his phone. He started mentoring young men at a community center, guys who reminded him of himself, guys carrying weight they weren't meant to carry alone. And when they'd ask, "How did you survive losing everything?" Marcus would smile, remembering his truck that night, and say, "I stopped trying to be the hero of my own story." But here's what Marcus learned that changed everything. Surrender isn't weakness. For men especially, surrender is the bravest thing we can do.
One evening, Marcus stood in his small apartment, smaller than the house he'd lost, and realized something profound. He was more whole now than he'd ever been in his successful life, because that success had been a performance, a mask of strength hiding a terrified man trying to control everything. Surrender had set him free, free from the prison of having it together, free from the exhausting act of being everyone's rock, free from the crushing isolation of carrying everything alone. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Not be stronger, not man up. Come, surrender, rest. Marcus had finally learned what real strength looks like. It looks like a man on his knees. Maybe you're where Marcus was 6 months ago. Maybe your business is failing, your marriage is crumbling, your identity as the provider, the strong one, the man who handles it, is shattered. Maybe you're exhausted from carrying everything, from being everyone's solution, from never admitting you're drowning. Can I tell you something, brother? That place you're in right now, that breaking point, it's not the end, it's the beginning. Because God doesn't need you to be the hero. He needs you to be surrendered. He's not asking you to fix your life. He's asking you to trust Him with it. Surrender doesn't mean giving up your responsibility. It means releasing the illusion that you were ever in control. Practical surrender looks like this for men. It's admitting you can't do it alone, and that was never the plan anyway. It's praying your will, not mine, when every instinct screams to take control. It's making decisions from wisdom instead of ego. It's taking action when He leads and being still when He says, wait. It's opening your hands and saying, God, I don't know how to fix this, but I trust you. It's not about being passive, it's about being partnered, not with your own strength, but with His. Marcus still works, still provides, still shows up for his kids, but he does it all with open hands now, holding things loosely because he knows who's really in control, and it's not him. It never was. And that's not failure, that's freedom. Here's what God promises when you surrender. Not that you'll never fail again, not that doors won't close, not that life will be easy, but that you'll never carry it alone, that His grace will be sufficient, that His strength will be perfected in your weakness, that He'll work all things, even the bankruptcy, the divorce, the failure, the shame, together for good. Romans 8:28 doesn't say some things, it says all things, even the business you lost, even the marriage that ended, even the image you can't maintain anymore. When you place them in His hands, He redeems them. He doesn't waste your pain, He transforms it, but only if you surrender it. If this message blessed you, don't forget to subscribe for more faith content. Comment below and tell me, what do you need to surrender to God today? Like this video and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. Remember, you're not alone in this, brother. And surrender isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of God's work in your life. God bless you.